All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to start diving into some more OP10 action because for those who are not aware, at the time of me recording today's video, the update for the sim came out yesterday on OP10. Now we have all those cards. We have access to all those cards where we can play them on the sim and explore and have fun with those. Okay, so big shout out real quick before I move on, before I go any further. Big shout out to Batsu and those guys who do the sim. You guys are incredible, an absolutely incredible team he has there that put the sim out. It is such an incredible service that they offer to the community. Okay, so a big shout out to them. I will be sure to put the link in the comment section below. I have a video showing how to set up the sim for anyone who might not know how to do that yet. Okay, now last night we had a stream. So guys, if you're not aware, quick news, quick announcement here. If you're not aware already, I have been streaming now on YouTube. We stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Okay, it has been, excuse me, it has been an absolute blast. It's been so much fun getting to interact with you guys live. Because it's one thing when you respond to a message on Discord or even a message in the comment section, but when people say stuff and I can respond to it live, I'm getting better at that, by the way, because sometimes the comments go by quickly and I'm in the middle of a game, I'm locked in, but we're getting better at that. But man, being able to respond like that is just incredible. It really adds a lot, to the to the experience. So that's been going very well. Make sure to tune in for those if you didn't know about it yet, or if you just want to watch me stream. We have that every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday now. It is a set schedule. It is set in stone, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so it's like a 3-hour window, 3 days straight. It ends up being like 10 extra hours of content, guys. And on there, like I said, it's much more loose. It's not as rigid like my videos are where we follow a set pattern. It's like we might start off with one leader, hop over to another, do some deck building, see what's going on in the community, check out announcements, things like that. We're all over the place. Now, speaking of the stream, in last night's stream, we went over all 6 of the new leaders from OP10. We were playing them. I was just copy-pasting lists from the website from the East so we could see how things were functioning. I will eventually make my own builds for every leader. But for the stream last night, I wanted to be able to pump out as many games as possible in the time we had allotted, right? So with that in mind, today's video and quite a few videos in the future, guys. I've already got quite a few games already pre-recorded for future content on the channel, day after day after day for new OP10 content. But for those games that we're going to be looking at with these new leaders, I literally was just copy-pasting decks. I will show those at the end of the video. But yeah, with that in mind, I have not made these my own yet, and I'm still getting used to the leaders. I was messing up so much last night with the interactions, like with Caesar Clown, and Green Yellow Law was also very tricky, and so was Red Purple Sugar. Red Purple Sugar was actually surprisingly tricky. But yeah, we'll work on that more in the future. So now, without any further ado, right? Let's actually get into this. Today we're going to be focusing in on Yellow Kid, okay? OP10, Yellow Kid. You can see it on the screen here. If anyone's wondering, like, hey, why did you choose a Japanese copy of the card? Because an English one doesn't exist yet. I've had people say that before, like, hey, try not to get the Japanese version ones so we can read what they do. It's like, well, this one doesn't exist yet in English, so we have to wait for them to update that on the site. I guess I could try to find like a loosely translated one, but I don't like doing that with the loosely translated ones because sometimes it's not exactly accurate and it can lead to confusion. But don't worry, we'll talk about what the leader does in the video and in the games. We'll be going over that fully. Now, before we get into this video, one more thing I want to say is today we're doing Eustass Kid. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Green Yellow Law. And then the next day we'll be doing Blue Black Usopp. I'm not going to say after that. I actually have videos recorded even for after that, but that's going to be a surprise when we get to it. And eventually we will be going over all of the OP10 leaders and with using my own decks like I was saying. But these videos we're going to be checking out for the next 3 days over the weekend, rapid fire. They're going to be like probably 30-minute videos, 40-minute videos. That's quick for my channel, guys. Just rapid fire and just going through it so we can get as much content out as possible, so you guys can see all the cool new interactions and the new leaders and the new cards and all that good stuff, okay? All right, so with that in mind, let me break down today's video. Finally, longest intro ever, right? But for today's video, we're going to be going over 3 games on the sim first. It's going to be a game versus Blackbeard, a game versus Shanks, and a game versus Black Yellow Luffy. Pretty decent, matchup spread there, right? After that, we're going to check out the deck list. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down because remember, guys, the deck list I'm running today, I got off of either gumgum.gg or I got it off OnePieceTopDecks.com. I will link it in the comment section below. Okay. All right, guys. I'll have everything timestamped as usual. I'll have all relevant lists. All relevant links and deck lists down in the comment section below as well. All right, if you ever have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section or hop on the VV Theory Discord. We have a good time in there, guys. We're talking about One Piece 24/7, okay? The link to that is in the channel description. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. I cannot wait to show you guys these new cards, these new interactions, these new games. All right, first things first, let me move this out of the way. We've got a game here against Blackbeard. We are yellow Eustass Captain Kid going against Blackbeard. And one more thing I will say before we launch into this game is this was my favorite leader so far. Out of all the OP10 leaders, I absolutely loved the way that this leader functioned. That is something we have to talk about first before we get into this game. I will show the deck list real quick for anyone who... Some people like to see the deck list first. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But let me read this real quick. I know my head's in the way, but I'm just going to read the leader effect because it's actually very relevant to what we're going to be doing in today's video. So the leader is Eustass Captain Kid, 5 life, 5,000 power, yellow leader. 5 life, yellow leader. Okay, I will move my head out of the way. Hang on. I will move my head out of the way. Excuse me. This leader has the effect. This is his effect, guys. He's a supernova and Kid Pirates type. End of your turn. You may turn the top card of your life cards face up. So that is required for the effect, right? So if they have a life card face up already, they won't be able to do this, okay? Unless there's like some type of mistranslation I'm not aware of. And then it says set up to one of your 3 to 8 cost characters with the supernova type as active. Then that character gains blocker until the end of your next turn. Okay, so let me just go ahead and tell you guys the prime target for this. There are other really good targets, by the way, but this is a very strong target, guys. This is the Basil Hawkins we've been talking about for a long time on the channel. We've been bragging about this card. I can't wait to play this in Red Yellow Sabo, but check this out, guys. Oh, and another deck that I really can't wait to play this in, Purple Yellow Crocodile. Anyway, that's for later. But this is a 4-cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter character with on KO, trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards. And then the trigger is no joke either. Draw 2, trash 1. Very, very good card. Very relevant card. Okay, let me go over a few more cards before we get into this so everyone knows what's going on. We're running the 5-cost 7k Vanilla Rouge. This is from OP10 as well, but it's just a totally vanilla 5-cost 7k. Excuse me. We're running the 1-cost, Monkey D. Luffy Supernova Top 5 Searcher. We're running 3 of the Eustass Captain Kid 8-cost. On play, rest this character, trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards. We're running the 3-cost Zoro, okay? That's this has, if your life total is fewer than your opponent's, this character gains Rush. And the trigger is trash a card from your hand and play this if your leader is Supernova type. 2k counter X-Drake. If you have equal to or less life than your... let me see something. If the number of your life cards is less than or equal to the number of your opponent's life cards, you can rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less by resting this character. Activate main. Now, this is another star of the show, guys. Make sure you read this real quick and understand what it does. 7 cost, 9,000 power. On play, reveal a Supernova type character card from your hand and add it to the top of your life face down. Okay, so this is a 7 cost 9k, gain life. Just read it like that. As long as it's a Supernova card, you show it. You show what it is, right? It goes face down into your life, and then you have a 7 cost 9k on the board. And also, let me finish it. Then if your leader has the Supernova type, give a Rested Dawn to your leader. So in this deck, on 7 Dawn, we slam down this character, we add a card, excuse me, we add a card to the top of our life, and then we add a Dawn to our leader. So now we have a 7 cost 9k, and we can swing for 6 with our leader. And that was on a 7 Dawn turn, we can do that. And then at the end of the turn, we can reveal what the top card is. Who cares? They already know what it is, right? And we can give this character blocker, even though he's not rested. So one thing you need to understand about this effect, guys, is the cost requires you to reveal the top card of your life and flip it face up, right? It doesn't require you to stand the character, but it will stand a character that costs 3 to 8 with this effect. It can stand up a 3 to 8 cost character and then give them blocker, but if they're already active, it attempts to stand them up. It already resolved because it already happened, and then it keeps going through the rest of the effect, and then it gets blocker. Incredible interactions. It also works with one other card. That's really good. It's this Eustass Captain Kid. Because this, I forgot to read the other part of this character. He can make you trash a card with his on play by resting him, right? No problem. We can stand him in a turn with the leader's effect if we can reveal the top card of our deck, of our life. But then end of your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, draw 1, trash 1. Literally just cycle a card. Absolutely incredible. And one, I really want to focus on this right here, guys. This card is, in my opinion, excuse me, in my opinion, this is the best card in the entire deck. Yes, the 8-cost Eustass Kid is extremely good, but I think this is the best card in the deck, in my personal opinion, and I do have plans to mess around with this card later with Red Yellow Sabo. We'll have to find a way to get enough Supernovas in there. Could be very spicy. Just think about this, guys. There is a 5-cost red Supernova card, if you guys can think of what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it has Rush and his name's Luffy, right? Could be interesting. But yeah, this card, again, one more time, let me read this. It's a 7-cost 9K. It's vanilla stats, guys, no counter. On play, reveal a Supernova type character card from your hand, add it to the top of your life, face down. Then, if your leader has Supernova, give up to 1 Rested Dawn to your leader. Now, in Red Yellow Sabo, we can't do that effect, unfortunately. But who cares? I think we're going to get over it. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to get over it because we gain a life by playing the card out. Incredible. Okay, that's all we're going to go over. Everything else is pretty well known from previous sets. Now we can actually dive into these games so you guys kind of know what to expect. And don't worry, I will try to remind us as we go through these games of what each character and the leader effects, what they do. And one more thing, too, is I will go over the deck again at the end. We'll talk more about it, and we'll kind of, do a summary. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, my camera's good over there, and we're going play, guys. Here we go. Okay, so not a great opening hand, so we do a mulligan. We're going against Marshall D. Teach. Our best bet against Marshall D. Teach here is actually just to go as wide as possible, right? Let's just go as wide as we can, because he's going to shut down our on-play effects as soon as possible. So Monkey D. Luffy, we go ahead and we grab some card. I didn't see what it was. They're going to swing in for 5. We're probably just going to take this one. Actually, it looks like we might counter out. Yeah, we take it. I think we probably could have countered out. I don't think that would have been, I think it was a little bit greedy to not counter out there, but that's okay. We're going to swing in for 3. We're going to, excuse me. We're going to swing it, excuse me. We're going to play out the, so real quick, let me explain what happened. They were at 5 life, we were at 4 life. Instead of playing out the Basil Hawkins on curve, I tried the much more aggressive start here by going, okay, I'm going to play out the Zoro for 3, swing for 5 with it because we had less life than our opponent at the time. He had 5 life. Swing in for 5, right? He takes it, attach the remaining Dawn to our leader, swing in for 6. Brutal. It doesn't matter that he used his leader effect. Last turn, he wasted his leader effect, right? Because it didn't matter. We literally played out a character that has a static-based effect. It's not like an activate main or an on play or something. The effect is just live if it's live. If not, then it's not, right? It's literally, I know that sounds like common sense, right? But it's literally that simple. Okay, and then we hit him for 6. He takes that 2. He's down to 2. Now, he does get a trigger there. That's always nice. It is always nice when they get a trigger, I will say that. And it looked like a Shigan Finger Pistol, which is going to fill up his trash. He plays out Doc Q. He's going to use his Lafitte here. Doc Q KOs my Luffy. He's going to use Lafitte to do a top 5 search, and I didn't reveal what he got, but he got some card from that. Now he's going to swing for 5 with the Shiryu, draw 2, trash 1, or draw 2, trash 2, I believe it is, and then he's going to swing for 6. We're going to counter out pretty aggressively, because now I just want to keep going. Now, there is a question, should I even go for the board? What would you do in this situation, guys? What would you do? Goodness, guys, my throat out of nowhere just went crazy. We're going face, guys. We are going face. He's going to take that. He's down to 2. I'm going to play out a Basil Hawkins, and I'm going to give him blocker. So remember, guys, I can reveal my top life card, and then I can give the character block. I think it has to be a Supernova character, but I can give the character blocker. I don't have to stand him. That part is just a added bonus, but you can give him blocker even if he's already active. Okay, and now, so now, first of all, I know what my next card is going to be, right? It's like, okay, now I can play around that accordingly, and I guess my opponent can too, but that's fine. Now I know what my next card is going to be, and now, if he attacks in, or just KOs my character with Doc Q, it doesn't even matter. Whatever he chooses to do here, I'm going to make him lose a life, right? The on KO will trigger, and it'll make him trash the top card of his life. Boom. He just lost, he attacked me and lost life. Guys, make that make sense, right? He just attacked me and he lost life. We'll take it every single time, guys. I absolutely love that interaction. He swings in. We're going to 1K counter out. There's no reason to get super low in life here. I just don't see a reason to do that. But, hey, we're at a spot right now, guys. Like, yeah, he's shutting down our leader effect. That's fine. We'll swing. This time we'll swing 5 into 1. He's not going to defend out of that, right? And he won't be able to do any searching or anything like that. And then we're just going to pass. We're going to play out the Eustass Kid, and then we're going to pass turn. And since my opponent's at 1 life, I think it's if they're at 2 or less life, something like that, draw one, trash one. Just cycle. We cycled out a card. Now we have a Rygo. And by the way, it's only on the 9 Dawn turn. So my opponent is actually in a world of trouble right now. They need to play a Searcher to find a blocker or whatever. They only have 9 Dawn. They can't even use their 10 cost guy. They can't even use their 10 cost Marshall D. Teach. Looks like he's going to swing for 5 right here to do a draw 2, trash 2. And he just ends up, I think he just ends up conceding because let me see what he has. He has a 2K, 4K, 5, 6. Looks like he could get up to 6K, which is not bad. But the thing is, he still has to attack in, and then he has to kind of try to depend on the Marshall D. Teach. So the way next turn would have gone is I was just going to go, okay, if my character survives, he was probably looking for removal. If my character survives, I'm just going to swing in for 9. Right? That's going to eat up 1 life. And then when I go to swing in with my leader, that's going to get the rest. I'm just going to play out Shirahoshi as a blocker past the turn. So it was literally going to be swing, what would it be? 9, swing 11, play out 2 cost blocker. And then if he did take life this turn, if it somehow survived, you know what I mean? It would have just been, okay, I'll just play out the captain. You know, I'll just play out the next captain. There's a million different ways I could have done that, right? This guy kind of left. I think he saw the writing on the wall. I think he saw the writing on the wall, and he's like, you know what? I'm out. Excuse me. I'm out of here. I'm dipping out. But I do think they left a little bit early. They could have at least tried to play off the 10 cost Marshall D. Teach. And guys, if I had to, I would have eaten all the cards of my life just to blast that thing off the board. And then guess what I would have done? Yep, swing 9 on leader, right? Because I'd have loaded the remaining 4 Dawn on the leader, smash in for 9. He's got it or he doesn't, right? That's like one of my favorite things to say. He either has it or he doesn't. Okay, good game. Now let's move on to the next one. That was against Blackbeard. This next one is against Red Shanks. And you have to bear with me. Some of my plays might not be the most optimal just yet, guys. Remember, we just got access to these cards yesterday at the time of recording this video. So we're still kind of we're still trying to figure out how to play these decks over in the West. And for my opponents, be nice to them too. They're trying to see what they can get away with against these new leaders. Like, okay, how do I play against these new leaders? Okay, so let's be super understanding of that. Okay, we're going to swing it for 6 and drop a Shirahoshi here. Swinging for 6, he takes it. He doesn't have a red. I guess he didn't have Red Hawk or he didn't want to use on a 1 cost. I don't blame him. But we're going to play out the Shirahoshi now, and it is his turn. And hey, we're a 5 life leader too, guys. We're a 5 life leader too, so we can take hits pretty aggressively. Yep, we get a Satori here. I think we're going to cash in on that right now. We'll trash the X-Drake and play out the Satori. Playing out Sanji, I dare you to take your own life against me, right? Like, that is the kind of card that I do not think will help him. I dare him to play out that Sanji against me, or to actually use the effect. Because watch this, next turn there, or next play, boom, we slam down the Basil Hawkins, and we're going to give it blocker, and we know we have a Cracker coming in for next turn, a Charlotte Cracker. Okay, the ball's in your court. What do you want to do? What do you want to do in this situation? And guys, there is no good answer, right? There is no great answer. Okay, you're just going to swing in for 6. Well, I guess I could just use my Basil Hawkins right now and not wait for next turn for him to have a card that can trash it with Ben Beckman. So we go ahead and cash in on that right now. We get out of the attack. We pop his life there. He plays out a Rayleigh, but guess what? Because of his sequencing, I don't think he was able to draw 2 trash 1 because I only had 1 5K on the board. I think you need 2 5Ks, or is it 2 6Ks? I think it's 2 5Ks to do a draw 2 trash 1. So he should have played that out first instead of he didn't want to telegraph his play. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to play out the Law there. And what card was I just put on top? I think we're going to see in a minute. Okay, it's going to be X-Drake. And boom, we swing it for 5. We're not committing any cards. Like, I'm not swinging with Satori so we can attack into that. No, you have to attack into my life. I'm back up to 5 life. I have a blocker and I have a 7 cost 9K blocker. I have a 0 power blocker and a 9K blocker. One of them you can't even remove unless you want to give me another life. It is just, this is a horrible situation for my opponent. A good play here, I do think, would be playing out a Ben Beckman and trashing my Shirahoshi, so I at least lose that value immediately and I don't get to gain life from it. He's going to play out a Building Snake and another Building Snake and a Lucky Roo and pass the turn. Very, very interesting, guys. So I wouldn't consider that a great spot for my opponent to be in, but let's see what they choose to do here. I'm going to swing for 6. I want to see what he's going to do because I have an 8 Dawn play already lined up. Let's see what he gives me. I expected him to use a leader effect and then pop my Satori, but he already had the Lucky Roo on the board. I couldn't save Satori even if he had Red Hawk or not, you know what I mean, because he had Lucky Roo. We're going to swing it for 9. He does a 1K, and then he plays out this event, and I think this guy said something to me in the message. He said, oops. Literally, It happens. I understand, but that was an unfortunate error there. But it does happen. Yeah, guys, that law, Trafalgar Law, that is a 7 cost 9k. So leader effect, and then you need a 2k to get out of that. That's brutal. Then we play out the Eustass kid. We crack his last life, or now he's down to his last life, and I have a blocker. Now, I was not able to stand anyone up and give them blocker this turn because I did not have my top life card was not face down. So 12 and 8, we're not giving him that. At this point, you know, after someone makes a big mistake like that, typically they get on tilt, unfortunately. But right here, guys, it's going to be swing 9, I think. Oh, pop the blocker first, excuse me. Then swing 9, and then swing 9, and then swing for 8. Yeah, we did it a little bit. I guess we should have swung 8 first, then 9, and then 9. But, oh well, you know, it is what it is. All right, smashing in there, and that's game. Good game to my opponent. They did make one unfortunate error, like I was saying, with the by playing out the 0 cost Bad Manners kit course when he did not have enough to get out of the attack. But yeah, really good game otherwise. That was a fun one. All right, we got one more game, guys. We got one more game. This one's against Black Yellow Luffy. And don't worry, guys, we'll have plenty more OP10 action coming out in the future. Like I said, I want to try to make these like rapid-fire, quick videos to put all these out so you guys can check out this stuff. Because, man, I've got so many things I want to do right now. I'm just trying to get out as much as I can first, and then I can really lock in on the actual, you know, projects I want to get into for OP10. You know, for you know, making my own deck and stuff like that with all the different leaders. Okay, so they're going to swing it for 5. They had a very explosive start playing out Monkey D. Luffy and Garp on turn 2. I'm going to swing it for 5. He actually 1k counters out. That was pretty smart, to be honest, guys, because I'm going to get pretty aggressive here, that's for sure. Especially now. Okay, especially now that I've got a Cracker coming in out of the top of my life. He's going to use Sabo there to draw 2 Trash 2 to protect his board. He's not going to swing. Okay. And the reason he did not swing, right, guys? Let's go back real quick. Remember, when I pulled out, when I played Hawkins, I gave him blocker at the end of turn. If he attacked, he would have lost a life. Again, that interaction is incredible. Okay, well, we got another Basil Hawkins, guys. We got another one. And a Shirahoshi. Now we have all these incredible on-KO effects. These are so gross, guys. These on-KO effects are just disgusting, right? I mean, Shirahoshi's not technically an on-KO, but yeah, it still works in that way if they try to, like, remove it or something. Okay, he attacks in. We will absolutely take that. We'll trash a 2k counter from hand, and we are going aggression. We are going aggressive here, guys. We're going to swing for 5. Swing for 5 more. Just poking this guy down. That's fine with me. Swing for 5. Give me cards from hand, or give me the blocker. Give me something, right? Okay, so right here, we're going to play out the 7 cost 9k first before attacking with our leader, because we can give him a free Dawn with the effect of Trafalgar Law. Swing in for 7, and pass turn, stand up a Basil Hawkins. Now, my opponent has a very annoying situation here where it's like he has to make sure that he doesn't attack in the wrong sequencing, the wrong order, because I can just trash a card from his life on my turn. He has to be very careful about that. Like right now, this is the time to attack. He's going to attack into the Basil Hawkins. I have to just let it go, unfortunately. Not a big deal. He has no life cards currently, but that again, that's not the biggest deal in the world. We still got to eat up an attack for free with it, right? That worked as a 1k counter. It looks like he's going to give -4 to my Trafalgar Law. That's very unfortunate. We're going to let that card go. I'm going to let cards go here, guys. I'm not trying to, like, hoard any cards or anything like that. Like, you know, my board is replaceable, and he's down to 2, and I can't really protect them, to be honest, right? I can't really protect my cards. Not perfectly. Okay, well, right here, we're going to swing 7 into 5. Let's see if he wants to give me any cards. He only has 5 cards left in hand, guys. We've been very aggressive. He gives me the blocker. Interesting. So we're going to use this, use out the Trafalgar Law, push a 2k into my life. I'm going to swing 7 into that card after that, and I've got a 7 cost 9k. I've got my blocker set up. You know, he has to do everything just right, or we're going to punish him severely. And I will say this too, guys. Don't be afraid to use Basil Hawkins, even if there's no on-KO effect to do, right? Like, use the blocker as long as it saves you, you know, life cards, even if they don't have any. It's still a good blocker. At least in this situation, you know, with this leader effect. Okay, they're going to get Kuzan out. They're going to get out one of the 2 cost characters, right? Or did I already miss it? Okay, it looks like they didn't get out a 2 cost character, guys. We'll have to see what they do with that. They're going to swing for 8. We'll take that. Thank you very much. We can't use the effect. That let me explain real quick, guys. That 4 cost 2k counter Law, that is a 2k counter Trafalgar Law, guys. And the trigger is like Revo Army, where if you and your opponent have 5 or less life altogether, you can play the card out. But otherwise, you can't even play it out. Okay, so we're going 9 at face. That would cost a 2k 1k. He's going to give me a 2k 1k. Seems good to me. We're going to play out ace, and we're going to pass the turn. That's that. And we are going to stand our guy up at the end of turn, which works perfectly, right? So now, yes, he could probably still remove my guy, but okay, watch this. Block with him first before you can remove him. So he just totally canceled out that entire effect. He's going to totally cancel out that effect and the removal, and I still have a 10 cost on the board. You know, this is just a really good situation for me to be in. Okay, they play out the Sabo from hand. They're got to draw 2 trash 2 now. Let's see what they get. They get a Garp and a Luffy into the trash, and then they just did something else as well. I think they just trashed a card. It looked like they trashed a bunch of cards there, didn't it? I don't know what, I don't know what they're doing. Okay. Oh, I think they used the effect, maybe? I think they used the Luffy effect. I missed it. Whatever happened. Okay, here we go. They're going to play out the Imperial Ivankov. They do pop my Trafalgar Law. That 3 cost 4K Ivankov is actually very nice. We get the Trafalgar Law right into play. Look at that, guys. 2 in a row. That's wild. Okay, we'll take it every time. Okay, 5 and a 5. Let's see what he wants to give me. Okay, he very, very wise of him. Yeah, don't give me anything. Trust me, it's not the right call. Just let it go. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. But yeah, he should have. I think he should have buffed his Luffy there. He did mess up on that. It would have been an 8K, but I still don't think he would have saved that. I still think he'd have let it go. Or maybe he should have blocked. Maybe he should have blocked out. I don't know. Now, right here, I have a situation where I could swing 7 at or excuse me. Let me pause real quick. What I probably should have done here, I went with like a safer play, quote unquote, where I could gain a life. But I think what I actually should have done in this situation was swing 7, excuse me, play out the 8 cost Eustass Kid, and then swing 7 at life with my leader because I'd have 2 Dawn left, right? And that's going to get his life out. Then he has to give me a blocker or a counter from hand. And then I still have a 9K body on the board, and I'll still be able to stand him up at the end of turn with the leader's effect and get a blocker in that way. So, you know, it ends up being fine. But this play was okay as well, but I think there was a slightly more optimal play by doing what I said, trashing his life, making him have to deal with that. But, excuse me, but if he doesn't have a 2-cost Luffy in hand or a Gecko Moria to get a 2-cost Luffy out, then living in life is actually very damaging as well. He can't go up to 2 life. Okay, he's going to swing for 7. Let's see what he does here. I'm just going through his trash, get an idea what I should do here. I think I'm just going to take this, and we're going to pop a Sabo, guys. Yep, there goes Sabo. There goes 1 blocker, 1 attacker, whatever he was going to try to do with it this turn or the next. He plays out Flampe to trash his top life card. It will not draw you a card with Luffy's effect. He's going to swing in for 9. I think we're just going to take this. Oh, very nice. And we get a Zoro. We're going to play that. Trashing a card from hand. We'll trash the other Zoro, or the X-Drake. And in this situation right here, guys, it's going to be all 6s. It's going to be, I think it's going to be like 4 6s here. And then we're just going to see what that gets us. Yeah, and that gets it. So he could have still blocked, but then it was going to be another 6, and that would have left me with 6 Dawn left for the turn, and I could have just played out the Nami, right? I could have just played out Nami from there. Actually, I might not have had to. I don't think I even had to. So I could have gone the 3 6s like that. The reason I did that, by the way, guys, is because he played out a 2K counter, right? It's like, okay, you're playing out a 2K counter this late in the game, and you've had a counter out aggressively earlier with the Hiyori and I think it was a Saba, a Ace. Yeah, it's like, no, we're going to punish now. Now we're going to punish him and get every 2K counter out of his hand, so that way next turn we can finish out if we can't get this turn. But hear me out. One thing that's really interesting about this deck, guys, remember, my last life was not exposed yet. So what I could have done in this situation here is I probably should have just I should have swung like 5, 6. No, I still could have done all 6s, right? Because what I could have done was swing all out, gain a life with my Trafalgar Law, and I still could attach a Dawn to my leader with his effect. So I could have swung all 6s, gained a life, stand up one of my cards, give them blocker. I was in such a commanding position there. That was a really good spot to be in. Man, loving these new leaders, guys. All right, that's it for today. I know it's almost like a tease. Only 3 videos, or only 3 games. I know, don't worry. We got plenty more where this came from, guys. I am in love with this new set. OP10 got some incredible yellow cards, guys. It got some incredible cards across the board, but me being a yellow main, like all the decks that I build are typically yellow, this might be my new favorite card in yellow. Like in the whole set for sure. Well, there's one other card. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. There's one other card I like more than this card, and it is Divine Departure. But I put them about on the same level as how much I like them, that being a lot. But then you have this Eustass Kid and this Hawkins. Even this Zoro's not bad. And here's the 2K counter, guys, if you need to pause and read this. Like I said, it's like the Revo Army trigger. But absolutely incredible setup here. This leader has some potential, guys. I think this is a really great yellow leader, and I hope they continue to give him support with yellow Supernova interactions, because this is just great. This is just so much fun to play. But yeah, so I'm going to run through the list real quick and we'll talk about it. We'll break it down. I know we kind of did that a little bit at the beginning, but now we're going to summarize. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on it because remember, this is not my list. I got it from either gumgum.gg or from OnePieceTopDecks.com. I just copy pasted it right into the with this import deck from clipboard function and just went straight to work trying to see how the deck feels and see how things are going and seeing what's working for other people. But this list is running 3 Shirahoshi. This card is real good, guys. The card's real good. It's running 4 Charlotte Cracker, the one that has double attack, 4 Satori, 2 Frankie, 4 Portgas the Ace, 4 Nami, 3 Urouge. I didn't really love this card. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't really love this card. 4 Basil Hawkins, 4 Monkey D. Luffy. This is just the searcher. 3 of the Eustass Captain Kidd, 3 Rush Zoros, 3 of the X-Drake, 4 of the 7 cost. Again, guys, this card is a powerhouse. You're gonna see this as well in green yellow law as well. Spoiler warning, guys, but in green yellow law, it's just as good, if not better. It's absolutely incredible. And then we have 4 of the 2K counter Trafalgar law. This is a promo, by the way. That really makes me sad when they do this, and it kind of scares me when I see a promo like this of this quality, of this caliber. Yep, kind of scary. That's a topic for another day, right? We'll have to talk about that later. And then they have Raigo, or also known as Kingdom Come, is the technical English definition for it, the English translation. Okay, the list, let me go through it right now. Shirahoshi, incredible, keep it as is. I would even consider going up to 4 of these. I mean, I'd consider dropping this Urouge down to a 2 of immediately, going up to 4 Shirahoshi. This card just locks your opponent down unless they have a bunch of tap effects, like if it's against green, or if blue can bottom deck, or if you're going against like Smoker who can trash it. The other like majority of decks just can't deal with it, and it really helps. Cracker, I'm kind of torn on. I don't really know how much I love this card, and in fact, you know what I would actually like in the place of this card? I'll probably do it, because think about it. This does not have any synergy as far as like searchability goes, or a Supernova card you can put into life with the Trafalgar Law. I'm really going to consider putting this card as the 6-cost Nico Robin, because we already have a great 4-cost. It is nice to, it's nice to have multiple 4-costs, so that way you're almost for sure going to get one of them. But I'm actually really considering putting in the 6-cost Nico Robin. Let me show you guys which one I'm talking about for those who aren't aware. This card right here. It's a 6-cost 6K with a 1K counter, so you don't lose a 1K counter. It does have a trigger. It's not a body trigger, but it can be. If you have a Shirahoshi in your hand, or a 1-cost Luffy in your hand, or this 3-cost Zoro, or this 3-cost 2K, you can actually just cheat them directly into play from your hand with Nico Robin. But the nice part about Nico Robin is it starts your curve one turn earlier for your Eustass Captain Kidd into your Portgas Ace, curve. So I do kind of like this card better. I have not tried it yet, but whenever I decide to revise this list, I can almost guarantee it's going to be -4 of... Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. It's going to be -4 of the Cracker, +4 Nico Robin, pretty much off rip. And with that in mind, I'll probably drop down the Urouge right here to another 2-cost, Shirahoshi. And another thing I really want to consider or look at is the 3-cost Bonnie. Why is this card not Supernova, guys? I'm so sad that this card's... I know why, okay? People are going to be like, because of the arc or because when it is, whatever. I don't care. It should have been Supernova. That'd have been so incredible. But even though it's not Supernova, I will still probably take out the 2 Urouge and put in 2 of the... where did it just go? I was just looking at it. I was just looking at the card, guys. Where's Bonnie? Here it is. I'll probably still add 2 of these. Because I like having the early plays. I really like having early plays. And especially if we can somehow make it where it's like, okay, on an odd curve, right? On the odd curve, we'll be able to do like certain kinds of tricks where it's like, okay, turn 2, slam down Jory Bonnie, right? Typically, we'll probably want to save that for later in the game. But just for this example, bear with me. Turn 2, slam down Jory Bonnie, pass. And that's on a 4-dawn turn. Again, this is going, actually, no, this is going first. This is on a 3-dawn turn. So we swing for 5, then we play out Jory Bonnie. Then next turn, we attach a Dawn to Jory Bonnie. We don't even have to swing with her, but I guess we could. We technically could swing if we want to. Swing for 5 with her, swing for 5 with our leader, and then slam down the Basil Hawkins, right? Or, like I said, don't swing with Jory Bonnie, and on the following turn, that's when we can make things work. Let me see something. Dawn ×1, your turn, once per turn. Yeah, so it's on your turn only. You can activate this effect. How crazy would this be if it was a Dawn ×1 once per turn when your opponent loses life, and then you could actually combo it perfectly with Basil Hawkins? Oh, that's unfortunate they didn't do that. But either way, still, I like this card a lot because if we do go the Nico Robin route, it gives us access to another counter, 3-cost card to cheat out, as a body with Nico Robin. What else? Really big fan of everything else, I think. I would definitely consider going down an ace. I know people love that card, but I would consider going down one ace and going up one Rygo. I just think it's going to be a little more balanced. I don't like having just a single of a card that I can't search up. If it's a card I can search up, I don't mind running one ofs or two ofs, no problem. But if I can't search it up, I typically will only run it as a one of, unless it's just something totally obscure that I'm just trying to mess with, like Goldie Roger or something, where it doesn't really matter. It's like you get it or you don't, and if it hits, you can just win the game off of it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Another thing that I actually would just do right away is I think I would just remove one Frankie and go up an X-Drake. Like, I don't... Let me go to that real quick. This card's cool and all, but if you don't get it off your trigger, I mean, it's really not a great card, right? I mean, I guess it still cycles. It still cycles, but remember, guys, this is not a Supernova card. It's an Egg Hat, Straw Hat card. It's not helping you in that way, right? It's not going to be able to help you in that kind of way. And in fact, what I think I would rather do is take out one Frankie and go up the 3-cost beige in the place of it, because again, it is one more card you can cheat out with Nico Robin in case you need like one more body next turn to win a game, right? That is something to consider. In fact, they were running 3 Shirahoshis. Maybe we drop down a single Shirahoshi and go up to 2 beiges, something along these lines. Here's another card, right, guys? It's like, man, wait, why is this card not Supernova, right? Because the new one is, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, the new one is a Supernova. Whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, this card is also worth considering, actually. This is a 1-cost 2K counter. On play, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand, and then add up to 1 card with the Supernova type from your hand to the top of your life cards face up. It's not quite as good as like what the law is doing, because remember, if it's a face-up card, we don't get to turn it face... Like, we don't get to use our leader effect at the end of turn. So this is just like strictly a better card, right? This is just strictly a better card for what we're doing than this 2K counters action. You know, like the effects are better is what I'm saying, right? The 7-cost effect is just better for what we're trying to do in this deck compared to beige. Now in green-yellow law, this card is gas, right? This card is absolutely gas. It helps you fuel attacks and things like that. It's incredible. But this is not green-yellow law. And instead... I don't think it, unfortunately, it is a searchable 2K counter if you want to run it, you know, because I guess you still can try to run it, right? Who knows? You know, try to make something happen there, maybe put a Basil Hawkins into your life, because it just has to be a Supernova card. Yeah, so you can put a Basil Hawkins into your life, maybe put the Trafalgar Law into your life, something like that, right? That could be pretty cool. But yeah, as is, though, I would rather not run it. I'd rather run a few beiges in the place of it. 3 Shirahoshis. I want to go up to 4, though. Let me think about something real quick. I would seriously consider. Let me see something. We have 4, 8, 10. We have 10 2K counters like this. We have the 2 Joy Bonnies, but I really want to go up one more Shirahoshi. What I'll do is I'll drop down 1 Nico Robin, and then we will put in the extra Shirahoshi. So this is the direction I'm going to build the list. In fact, I'm going to call it modded. So that way I know, like, okay, this is what I'm going to start messing with soon. But I will say, whoever did make this list, I don't know who it was, guys. I was just copy-pasting lists, like, super quick last night. So sorry if whoever's list this is. I apologize if you know, if they're somehow listening, because it'd be someone from the East, right? Someone from Asia, probably. But yeah, if I'm using their list and I didn't give the person credit, my apologies. Just look for it on you know, on OnePieceTopDecks.com or gumgum.gg. But it was probably like a flagship first place list or some type of 5-0 list, because I tried to just get the best. In fact, hang on, I just had a thought. I think this is the 8-2 list. I think this was an 8-2 list at a big regional level tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever the case is, here it is, guys. Here it is after modifying it. Oh, it did have more 2K counters. This whole time, people were probably like, dude, you just went up to 14 2K counters. Yes, we sure did. I forgot all about Trafalgar Law. One thing I will say about Trafalgar Law, though, is if you don't have access to this card because it's a promo, I would just replace this with 4 of the Frankie card, or excuse me, the beige card we were just looking at. Where'd it go? Beige is right here. If you want to have a searchable 2K counter, but if you want the trigger, then I would just change it out straight up for the 4, where's it at? The Frankie, 4 Frankies. Okay, see, now that I know we do have 12 2K counters, I already feel better. You know what I mean? maybe hopefully that makes sense. And now I would consider dropping down 2 X-rays. Okay, y'all are just, you know, getting to see how a madman's mind works right now. We'll mess with this more later for sure. Do not worry, guys. If you guys have any ideas, in fact, please post them in the comment section below, because we have not even begun to scratch the surface of like some of these new decks, guys. We're still trying to figure it out. I think they're still trying to figure out even in the East, right? I think they're still figuring a lot of stuff out. But I think the core that we have here, guys, of the Basil Hawkins, the 7 cost, the 8 cost, the Shirahoshi, the Searcher, of course, and some 2K counters all over the place. The promo is kind of scary, guys. Promos are always scary in this game. The Nami, and again, we kind of messed with the Jory Bonnie and Nico Robin idea. But guys, this really is a match made in heaven, right? With the remember, okay, like with Jory Bonnie, if Jory Bonnie survives even 1 turn, like if they can't remove it, and it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be decently easy enough to protect, even if you swing with it, because you can restand your Basil Hawkins and then protect it and make them lose a life on their turn, even if you can't get the draw 2 trash 1. It's still a huge interaction, right? But if this thing survives even 1 turn, and you slam down a Nico Robin, like if you can attach a Dawn to your Jory Bonnie and then slam down Nico Robin on them, they're losing a life, you're drawing 2, trashing 1. So again, guys, when we were really going hard with Red Yellow Sabo, trying to figure out a good control list, these three ladies right here, Bonnie, Nami, and Robin, they were incredible together, guys. They just worked out perfectly. So that's something we're going to have to try to build around and try to figure out. Should we go back down to 1 Rygo? Do you guys like 1 Rygo better? Maybe go down to 1 Beige? Do we need all 14 of these 2K counters? I kind of like being high in 2K counters, guys, because we have some huge characters to drop later. And if we can keep our life high, then all of a sudden these 9 cost, or these 7 cost and 10 cost characters are massive. They're just so hard to deal with, and they're gaining us life, right? This one gaining us life. This one gaining us life. Now this one removing life, and this one removing life, we can turn into a blocker. So it's kind of making sense to me, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to make a lot of sense. We'll see what happens though. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. Please come and hang out with us on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern. I don't even remember what I said earlier, guys. Hopefully I didn't say 7 p.m. I keep wanting to say that for some reason. It will always be 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern unless something changes on YouTube, streaming on YouTube. Now, real quick, big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys. Guys, if you're just liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, hopping in the streams, becoming members, all this stuff, guys, it is huge, guys. You're helping me out big time. And then on top of that, everybody who bought the VV Pirate playmat, thank you guys so much. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their playmat. And then last but not least, the patrons, thank you guys so much for just supporting me in the ways you do, trying to help me out. And I'm still working on this membership page, guys, this membership page right here. It is really hard to track because I just started streaming. I got a bunch of members in a row. It'll probably start to slow down over time and become more steady where it's easier to update. But this is what I have so far, but it is a lot more people than this. I think we're up to like 75 members, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who's helped me out like that. This has been totally surreal. I can't believe it's real, right? It's like someone pinched me. I'm in a dream or something. But again, thank you guys so much for helping me like that. All the people who have. Okay, I'm done. Enough yapping. Tell me what you guys think. Which leader are y'all looking forward to me, playing the most? Featuring a video on the most, because sometimes that does affect. That does affect what I do in the future, right? When I see enough people like a certain leader or want to see enough, or want to see a leader bad enough, usually that does affect what I do next. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, peace.